Can the twin flame runner change at all? Is there any hope? Does it make sense to wait? And I would say this is the most common question that the twin flame chaser has. And I can give you a very honest answer because I used to be a twin flame runner and then I became the twin flame chaser, and after that I could integrate these two parts, which is basically the whole idea of a twin flame connection, a unity within, becoming whole within. And that's the exact reason why I understand how the twin flame chaser feels, because I used to have these questions as well. If I do enough, maybe he will be different. If I just express what he should become, he would realize that way is so much better. So if you really pay attention, what I'm saying is the real question what the twin flame chaser has, it's not that can the twin flame runner change, it's that can I change the twin flame runner to become the person, the ideal person I imagine him or her to be? And the answer is, I would say, very simple but very difficult to follow. So we don't have the ability to change anyone except ourselves. We can only change ourselves. Of course, we can express what we would like, and some people actually do that because maybe without expressing, they wouldn't have even known because they are just wired in another way. But this is where you have to understand that the twin flame runner and the twin flame chaser, it's not like two little dots. They are on a spectrum. So certain people are going to be more rigid, and it's true about both types. And certain people are going to be, I would say, healthier, and they are able to change easier. And the truth is, and this is going to hurt you a lot, that the more rigid you are, the more rigid is going to be your opposite, because this is how the attractions work, that opposites attract. But as soon as you understand this part, you can also understand that if you move on the spectrum to become healthier, and healthier means that you incorporate many of your opposites, I would say, thoughts and feelings, then you become closer to the middle, you are more incorporated, then your opposite is going to be healthier as well, which means that the idea that you can only have one twin flame connection is false. And I'm also saying it from experience. And many people will say, no, you can only have one. But in reality, that's not true. Because as soon as you change, as soon as you become different, your energy is going to be different within. So you will not feel attraction to your original twin flame. You will feel that you have outgrown that. And because you change, as you can see, like here you don't attract. If you change, you can actually get attracted or feel attracted to a completely different person. Unless when you start changing, your twin flame starts changing as well. And that's when you remain in unity. But you cannot force your partner. And the problem with the runner is that they detach themselves from the emotions easier, because that's the opposition of the twin flame chaser, who cannot detach from the emotions. And that's also just as unhealthy, because if you see it from the other's perspective, and I can say it from the other's perspective because I used to be the runner, it feels overwhelming that everything has to be heard and expressed all the time. There is just too much drama around, and the runner is going to feel overwhelmed. And after a while, it just feels that I'm burnt out. I cannot be in this relationship anymore. And this is where the huge difference is, that the twin flame chaser sees that I do a lot and I'm going to try a lot of, I don't know, ways to change the partner to be this ideal partner I want him or her to be. but the runner sees it in a way. This person doesn't match the ideal partner in my head, so I'm going to move away. I'm going to look for another person who is going to match this ideal person in my head. So this is how you can see that they are not going to, I would say, put too much effort into changing the partner within. They are going to change the partner completely and try a new partner. That's why you can see that a runner type of person can move away so easily from a relationship, because this emotional part can be shut down a lot easier, while the runner cannot shut it down as easily, because the runner is connected to the body. That's where the emotions are, that's where the nervous system is. And this is the chaser that's close to this, and the runner is very close to this prefrontal cortex that is actually have the ability to detach from the emotions. So the big question is, can the runner change at all? And I can say it from experience, yes, a runner can change, because I used to start as a runner, but you cannot change that person if it's in the unhealthy spectrum by saying it, that this is the problem with you, blah, 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 because the runner has this strong idea that they are perfect. And when you point out how they should change, they keep feeling that you are attacking them. You try to devalue them. You don't like them. And instead of, I would say, trying to change into that person, it's again like, depending on the spectrum, they are more likely to move away and find a partner who finds them perfect already. And that's the bigger reason you cannot change that person. There is a way to actually, I would say, communicate certain things, and it's more like in an indirect way. And that's again the big difference between the two of you, that the chaser is more direct and likes direct communication and get things talked through, but the runner is, I would say, softer. They prefer indirect communication. So an example would be that you don't like that the runner doesn't spend enough time with you. So instead of saying that I really don't like that you are not at home enough, I wouldn't say that you shouldn't say it at all. I'm saying that you shouldn't nag, you shouldn't keep repeating. And what you can say instead, you can actually even create a fictitious person, but bring up somebody that, oh, for example, my colleague has a wife or has a husband, it doesn't really matter what you say, and she is so unhappy that the partner is very rarely at home. So this is an indirect way of telling something to the partner that you would like to, I would say, talk through. So you didn't say it directly, you say it in an indirect way. But the true change is going to happen when the runner is hurt enough. So the runner has to come to an internal realization that the way he or she operates makes them unhappy, because this is something they are going to feel that something is missing from their lives. And many times that's why they work so much, that's why they buy so much clothes or always new cars or new things, because they believe that this external world could fill up that internal void. But in reality, that internal void, they feel that something is missing. It's this internal part, this emotional part that they have been repressing from very, very young age, and that is represented in the chaser. And that's why you two actually attract each other, because these are two parts. These are actually two parts in the nervous system and two parts in the head. And the healthy way would be that you have both parts internally. So as a conclusion, just as the runner needs so much pain to change, it's actually true about the chaser as well. That for you, it seems that if the external world would change, if your partner would change, you would be happy. But in reality, you have to take that leap. You have to start your own self-development journey, and you have to put the effort into changing yourself instead of trying to change the partner, because you have a lot more chance to change yourself and see the whole relationship, and I would say the opposite gender, in a very, very, very different way, and also relationships in a very, very different way compared to you how you see it now, and the ways you can do it, that you actually learn about this. So for example, you look into the 4 attachment types. This is something that I keep bringing up because this is something that helped me the most to understand even myself and understand my partner. And in this structure, you can see that out of the 4 attachment types, 3 of them are going to be unhealthy and only 1 is going to be the healthy one. And this is where you can see that the chaser is going to be the anxious preoccupied and the runner is going to be the avoidant. But the avoidant has 2 versions, and that's why the twin flame runner actually has 2 versions as well. There is a detached avoidant type of runner who I would say moves away very easily, goes to you very easily, and remains very, very rigid. This is the one that cannot change. This type of runner has, I would say, a very little possibility to go through a self-development journey. But there is another type of runner, and that's the disorganized attachment type, or we can call it the fearful avoidant, because this fearful avoidant is actually the mixture of the anxious preoccupied and the detached avoidant. So it has already the anxious part as well. So this version has the ability to change, and this is the type of runner I used to be. And I would say this is the type of runner that can be very, very confusing as well, because sometimes they actually behave as an anxious preoccupied, especially in the beginning of the relationship, that they do a lot. They really, really like you. And then suddenly, when you do something wrong, it seems like they ghost you, they go away, or they shut down when you try to, I would say, discuss something. So this is something that you have to really think through in order to have a very healthy relationship. And the number one, you have to truly recognize that if you don't have a healthy relationship within, if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, meaning that you understand your own needs and you create boundaries and you have expectations, I would say realistic expectations, then you don't have a chance, to be honest, to have a healthy relationship. But these are the things that you can learn. These are the things that you have a chance to actually change within. I hope this video was helpful for you, and see you in my next video.